A couple more reasons that I want to, why you really should buy this book. I wrote this book in the US mainly, did some revision in South Africa, but I've done readings in the US, which is essentially home for me now. So this is technically my first international sharing of the book, and I'm sharing it with you, so buy it. Then also, reason number 5, it is a well-written book. Dang it. It is so good. Well, no, I'm not saying that, but I wrote it, then it went into publication. Any writers in the house? A few writers. Any artists in the house of any sort? Any other artists? All right. So sometimes you work on something and you step away from it, even if you write an exam or something, and you turn it in, then you go home and you're like, I don't know if that was right. I think I might have messed that up. Or, man, did I don't know. Then you might see it, and most of the time it's good, right? So that's what happened, but imagine that one night is like a year when the book is in publication. I'm like, I bet I didn't account for this. I bet I spelled this word wrong. I always struggle with spelling this word, and the editors don't catch it. The book is going to be published, and this word is going to be wrong, and I'm going to look stupid. Did I talk about this guy? Or did I just introduce this character and leave him halfway? Then I got it after, when it came out. I was like, no, it checks out. So that's reason number 5. But I say all that in sort of being playful and just really trying to get you to check it out. But the most important reason, by far the most important reason, is this. We need to tell our own stories. We need to tell our own stories. Now, we are a pretty diverse crowd today. So if you come from a culture or a community or a demographic whose stories have always been told by the people from that demographic, fine. You may not understand how significant this is. But for more than a century, the African story has been told either by non-Africans or often by Africans, but through that gaze which was created by non-Africans, right? Which goes back to the point I was making earlier about, honestly, if the story is not about starvation and AIDS and being a child soldier and these things, the world doesn't want to hear it. That's the African story that people like, right? And I mean, you cannot tell our stories. I cannot tell the story genuinely without including some of those things if that's what was happening. So that's why I talk about HIV/AIDS, talk about the dilapidating economy. But also, how about the time when me and my friend tried to sneak into the library and get 4 books instead of 2? That is, you want to talk about an African story? That too is an African story. That is worth of telling. I want to talk about the one time that these bullies walked up on us and one of my friends punched him in the face and we broke out, and it was so much fun. We remembered it forever, because that too is an African story. If it works for an Australian childhood, for an American childhood, for a British, for a French childhood, it works perfectly. That is our story. That is childhood across the board, right? I remember my grandma, I talk about this as well. My grandma, she was a nurse, and she would come with this pristine white uniform, and we'll be playing on this dirt field, and every time she'll be walking down from the bus, we run over to her and we hug her, and now I'm just like, she wouldn't say much, but that must have been awful for her, because she had to bleach it, and now this white uniform just turned brown. That is the story. Let's hear about these kids who are in love with their grandmother as well, right? It's good to hear a story where these African kids are not hiding in bushes from warlords. It's good to hear a story about where we're not waking up every morning wondering where our next meal is coming from, because more often than not, that is what the African story is. And this is what I set out to do with this book in a major way. So if anything, support this wave. We call it Afropolitan writing. Support this wave of writing and hear a different African story. So that's the most important reason that I think you should buy the book if you can. Other than that, let me say this. My name is Shingima Vima. You can see it on the board. If you're interested in some of my writings and things like that, please find me on social media. My website is shingimavima.com, just that name. You can write it down, take a picture of it. Follow me on Facebook, my page on Facebook, whatever all these pages. And if you buy the book, perfect. If not, and you're interested in reading, kind of staying in touch or seeing some of my work, please follow me on those sites. And yeah, Bo, with that, how are we doing for time? Perfect. Woo! All right. And I'll be over here to chat and to sign books, and the cupcakes are over there as well, so you have a reason to come over there. All right. Thank you all very much for your audience. I really appreciate it.